All right, what's up guys? This is Average Aaron's appliance repair video today. We are in the kitchen and we are gonna fix our
oven control panel.
Oven control panel. Thanks, little Eo. Why are we fixing it?
Because the other one went bad.
Correct. And now the story on why it went bad.
Hey, Average Aaron's awesome wife here. Okay, so we got a chicken pot pie from Costco. Is gonna cook it. It said like $3.75 for an hour to hour and a half. Put it in the oven and then like 30 minutes. We got like a beep or something weird. I don't even know. I opened the oven and like the top part was like burnt. I'm like, maybe I read the directions wrong. I don't know. It was already in the trash. I couldn't even recheck the directions. We salvaged it and it was okay. We actually prefer the chicken Alfredo from Costco, just for the record. But anyway, so then comes Saturday and we were making pizza DiGiorno. Is our deep dish, our favorite. Besides the point. But anyways, after like 4 minutes, we got that beep again and it was like charred. The top was like charred. Oh, even before that though, after the chicken pot pie, it had like a fault detected mode and we had to like reset the circuit breaker. And then anyways, oven finally worked again, but then it messed up our pizza. Okay, so then I Googled and I got to diagnostic mode. So I had to do cancel, start, and it would cycle through some of the modes on the oven. The first one, it would tell you what the oven is registering at, the temperature in there. And right when it did it, it said 71. But the oven was not on, and it kept climbing. So it was like at 70, and it went up to like 200. And then we decided to turn off the oven because, well, that wasn't very safe. Yeah, so we unplugged it. It was already off, but we unplugged it just to be safe. And then we Googled and it said to change the control panel. So we actually found a piece that wasn't too crazy because we live kind of in a faraway place. And sometimes shipping is weird. But anyways, now we're gonna change the control panel.
All right, so we pulled the control panel off and we'll get to how we did that in just a second. Here's the old one, here's the new one. And the way we're gonna tell this apart, aside from perhaps writing something on the old one, is fortunately this copper spool that's located right here is just copper, and this one has some stuff on top of it. All right, so they look to be the same component, and the some of the numbers match up on here. Each one is serialized, so the top part might be a little different. Both of them are made in the same country, Mexico, and then they all have the same ports to plug into that you can see here, and some of them over here and up there as well. And it's relatively easy to see how that goes. So if you shift around to the back of the appliance, we already pulled off all 8 of the screws, plus 2 on the circuit board holding it on there itself too. So I'm gonna position the circuit board on there, and then we'll come back and I'll show you where the screws go to hold that on there. All right, so along with the new control panel, we also got a new temperature sensor, which we pulled out here. And I'll show you, it does have a little bit of scarring. Looks a little scorched, but it's always inside an oven and that happens. So as you stick it through, stick it in straight because there's some insulation in there. And we'll screw it in just a minute, but then make sure you connect the wiring back on. Make sure the wiring is snug and tight. And then when you get up here to the control panel itself, I'm gonna come in underneath here. Maybe I'll go on top. There's a bunch of wires and we labeled them so we know which way to plug them into. And so they only plug in one way. And when you take it off, you'll see that there's only one way to put them in. And you just wanna kind of wiggle them back and forth, gentle and delicate like. So we've got these 3 here on the bottom, and then we've got this other blue ribbon here on the top that'll go in right there. Now, my wife is plugging in some of the ones on the right side here. I think there's a total of 8 total. The red one, watch this ribbon one. It's really delicate when you go to take it out, so you don't break any of this. And there's 2 on the bottom, the yellow and the black. Okay, and then we've got one more blue one up here that we're gonna plug in as well. Now to take this off, you would just do all these steps in reverse. And then we're gonna go back through and check to make it's all tight, and then we're gonna pull out the back panel and screw the back panel back on. All right, so we wanna make sure as you go in that these top ones here that we labeled, that they're pushed in all the way. And you can know that you have them pushed in all the way because they'll be flush across. This one here kind of tricked us and we didn't have it in all the way, but we finally did get it pushed in. We got it going on there, and then we've also put the screw back in the temperature sensor down here. Now there's only one of them in ours, so if you have 2, it's not a big deal. If you have 1, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you get that in there, and then make sure this connector here is tight as well too. The mode. All right, so as we were working on it, we unplugged it, and plugged it back in, and it was running through all the modes, tells you the model, wants us to set the clock, which I don't know about you guys, but like I always look at the oven clock to set it because I don't know, it's just easy to read, easy to see. I like digital, but I also have a nice analog clock that I like too, and that's like, you know, my clock that makes me feel like home. And it's beeping at me while I set the time here. Oh no. We almost synced it up to where the oven and the microwave change time at the same time. Start. All right, it looks to be on. Now, we did not put the panel back on before we did this because we wanted to make sure that it worked. So we're gonna run through and just turn it on to 400 and see if it stays for a little bit. So go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and do this. And then one of the things I also wanna throw out there is a tip, and somebody said if you turn on the self-cleaning mode, in some ovens, it can get so hot that that's what causes damage to the control panel. I don't know if that's true, but it's something to consider. And you may just want to apply some extra elbow grease to clean it instead of turning on the self-cleaning function. All right, so my wife, she's right as always. Instead of starting it up at 400, perhaps we should
put it in diagnostic mode just to see if it will rise, just like it did last time without the oven on. So I do cancel, cancel, start. And that's the current temp that is registering inside of the oven.
Now the reason that's a little cold is up here in Alaska, the thermometer is outside on the front porch, and so it might be a little chillier because we don't keep the house at 55. Although kudos to you who do, that's probably environmentally friendly.
It's definitely not rising like it did last time at all.
So you're saying last time when you had this on, this number shot up to 200 in test mode?
Yep, and the oven was not on, had not been on for hours.
So the oven was plugged in, but you didn't have it turned on. Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, do this test and everything first. We're gonna let the test run for a little bit, and then we'll do a 400 run here, and hopefully it'll work just fine. But yeah, this is kind of how you replace the oven control module on your Whirlpool AccuBake oven. We'll try to drop the model number in the description. Hope this was helpful, and we're not gonna do a video of us putting the back on because I'm pretty sure you guys can do 8 screws in the back of an oven. Hope this helped you guys. Hope this helped you guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you guys next time.